and welcome back to Classic Song Reviews. I am the man, or the middle-aged nerd if you simply must. As you know, today's music is both morally and artistically bankrupt. In this show, we hearken back to a purer time, when music was excellent and lyrics were meaningful. Today's classic song first appeared in 1963 and was a minor hit for an American vocal group called the Exciters. It garnered minimal attention until, a year later, the British band M.A.N recorded and released it. It made its way up the charts and spent 2 weeks in the #1 slot in October of that same year. It has been covered many times, was used in the movie Stripes, and has been used in several other movies and television shows, and is a bit of a musical icon in its own right. Without further ado, let us delve into Diddy Diddy?
There she was, just walking down the street singing.
Very nice beat. In typical fashion, a young man sees an attractive young woman walking down the street and erupts into meaningless babble. Unless, was he reciting these nonsense syllables, or was she? Let us see if the song will clarify this.
Tapping her fingers and shuffling her feet singing.
I see. So it is the woman who is singing this random collection of syllables. And not only that, but she is snapping her fingers and shuffling her feet in some sort of apparent dance motion. Let me see if I have this. The gentleman telling the story sees a young woman, at least we assume it's a young woman, thus far he has only referred to her as she, shuffling down the street, accompanied by finger snapping and singing what appears to be some sort of baby talk. He is immediately smitten with her. For the 60s, this is perfectly logical behavior. It makes sense if you know what the words she was singing mean, man. Hello, Matthew. Are you saying these phrases actually have meaning? I said, you know my name, dude. Mea culpa. Are you telling me, Moonchild, that you know what these words mean? Sure do. Learned it a long time ago. Very well. Feel free to enlighten us. Huh? Don't just stand there, dude. Far out. Well, see, way back in ancient times, there was this tribe of Native Americans that were so ugly, none of them wanted to marry each other. Thing is, they knew if they didn't start getting married and having babies, then the whole tribe would die out. So they called out to their love goddess, Diddy Diddy, and they said, look, babe, if you don't, do something here, there ain't gonna be no tribe no more. Well, they were the only tribe that really paid any attention to her, so she gave him this spell. When you figured it was time to mate, you go up to somebody and do this little dance and sing, do-wah-diddy diddy dum diddy do, which means, Diddy Diddy, the love goddess, compels you to mate with me. And then they just become putty in your hands and do whatever you wanted. But even better, it made both of you seem better looking enough that you didn't feel like barfing when you went to... I get the picture. Tell me, how did you happen to acquire this information? A while back, one night I was doing peyote with this old guy who was a direct descendant of the tribe, man, and he told me the story. But, just as he finished it, the love goddess herself appeared to me and said that everything he just told me was true. Man, talk about instapation! A hippie, an elderly Native American, and a love goddess are ingesting peyote, and they walk into a bar. Oh, thank you for that information. It was most enlightening. Huh? Solid, catch you later, dude. Man, you talk funny. He leaves me feeling as though I had absorbed some of that peyote myself. Where was I? Oh yes, next lines please.
She looked good, she looked fine.
Here we see a common musical device known as call and response. The leader sings a phrase and the followers repeat it back. After a bit of this, we ultimately blend back into a unison. She looked good, she looked fine. Truly, as I said, the young man is hopelessly smitten with this siren-like beauty.
She looked good, she looked fine, and I nearly lost my mind.
He is on the verge of insanity. Perhaps there really is something to Moonchild's story, because the situation seems to have left our protagonist's brain somewhat addled. Then again, it could just be the rampant testosterone talking again. Or it could be more peyote.
Before I knew it, she was walking next to me singing.
So, he has approached her, and she has accepted his presence. It would now seem that they are singing together, although the finger snapping and such appears to have ceased. However tempted I may be to ask why this is so, I believe I shall refrain.
Holding my hand just as natural after me singing.
Oh, this is why she is no longer snapping her fingers. He is holding them. Though there is no indication, one would also assume that they have exchanged names at some point. On the other hand, this was the 1960s, so they may or may not have considered such things to be necessary information.
We walk on to my door. We walk on to my door, then we kiss a little more.
He immediately takes her home, and she apparently goes willingly. They are holding hands, kissing, and are most likely anticipating a rousing episode of unclothed gyrations with one another as soon as they are behind closed doors. Another prime example of the so-called free love generation's obsession with their genitalia.
Whoa, I knew we was falling in love.
I see. It is acceptable for this woman to allow herself to be seduced with minimal effort because they are falling in love, whatever that may mean. I suppose a flimsy excuse for promiscuity is better than none at all.
Yes, I did, and so I told her all the things I've been dreaming of.
And what precisely was he dreaming? More of the same? More shuffling and singing? This song does not tell us as much as we might want to know.
Now we're together nearly every single day singing. We're so happy, and that's how we're gonna stay singing.
I confess my surprise. Rather than a typical 60s have sex like rabbits tryst, we seem to have a genuine relationship happening here. How refreshing.
Well, I'm her, she's mine.
It appears that something has gone wrong with this relationship. Suddenly he says, I'm hurt, she's mad. What happened?
I'm hurt, she's mine. Waiting bells are gonna chime.
I'm hurt, she's mad, little girls are going to cry. The logic of this song has now completely escaped me. Really? That is not what it sounds like. Very well. Please play that segment again.
I'm hers, she's mine, wedding bells are gonna chime.
I have been informed that the young man is actually saying, I'm hers, she's mine, wedding bells are going to chime. Reading his lips in this video, I believe that is correct. Having said that, it seems to me that one should not have to go to such lengths to comprehend such simple lyrics. And he says I talk funny. From here, we repeat the previous segments, beginning with I Knew We Were Falling in Love. The song concludes with some improvised repetition and a fade. By any evaluation, this is a fun song. It has a strong beat, good variation, and a simple, if somewhat silly, train of thought. The nonsense phrase, or mystical chant if my colleague is correct, rolls off the tongue quite easily and lends itself to a light-hearted smile. In addition, what appeared at first to be just another seduction and conquest song of the type that was popular during the free love era actually turns out to be a genuine relationship that is moving toward matrimony. The young couple meets, falls in love, and strolls off into the sunset singing their little tune. Do-wah-diddy diddy dum diddy do. Ah, perfect. I am the man, and I bid you good day. Do-wah-diddy diddy dum. Yes.
Left, 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 right, left, left, left,
Yeah, she was just walking down the street singing do-a-dee-dee-dee-dum-dee-dee-dum, popping her fingers and shuffling her feet singing do-a-dee-dee-dee-dum-dee-dee-dum. She looked good, she looked fine, she looked good, she looked